In this video, we're going to keep plugging along on my bathroom remodel, and we're going to do it right now. All right, it is time for this door to go. I got a new door, same size. It's a 30 by 78, and as a rule of thumb, you want to make this opening both for the height and the width about 2 inches bigger than an actual like 30-inch door like this is. And what I have right now is exactly 32 width. However, the height for the rough opening is about 78 1/4. So the new door that I got, I'm gonna have to cut down. But I ended up getting a solid core door. So when I cut it down, I'm not going to have to worry about filling it at the bottom or anything like that. Now you might ask, why can't you just reuse this door? Just paint it and reuse it. Well, it's really not in great shape. You can see it's, they cut it at some point. Hi, Coda. And it's just through the years, the trim is all messed up. Plus I moved it around, and that used to be where the latch was. So I'm just gonna use a pre-hung door and make it easy on myself. It is a nice door. This one is solid, but it's seen better days. So let's check out the new door. So here's the new door. I got it set up in the other room here. And this is what's called a pre-hung door. So it has the trim for the outside and obviously for the inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this trim off of here, and then I'll worry about cutting down the trim and the door on the other side, and then cutting this afterwards because that floor is a little bit lower. So my only issue is going to be that this floor and this floor are uneven. So I'm going to have to kind of notch the trim around this. I am going to end up putting a new floor here. So it is going to raise up. I'm probably just going to go right on top of this. But for now, I would like to have kind of a better looking trim. So I would like to go down to this floor and have the inside sit right here. Another thing that I would suggest is this is completely level from here to here. If it wasn't, I might have to cut this side of the trim down more. Say that it was higher on this side than it was on this side. I would have to cut that trim more in order to make this door's reveal better. But luckily for me, mine is completely level, so it's going to be no problem. I can cut that side the same as this side and cut the door even. So let's start by taking off this trim. There's a couple staples right here that hold this together, so I just got to take those off, cut the ties, and take the trim off. This is why they call it a split jamb door, because you split the jamb. There you go. So you're going to notice a couple marks here. I took my piece out of the doorknob hole and I marked this all up. So basically this line is where this trim is going to drop down on the tile. Then you come down here, this notch is where the tile ends, and then this line is where the other floor ends. And then when you put this like this, the line on the door is me leaving about 3/8 of an inch from the tile floor for this to swing and to have enough room. So there'll be a small gap on the bottom of the door. So I'm going to cut this trim like this, and then I'll cut this door, and then these same marks I'm going to cut on that side because the floor is even, and then I'll be able to put this back together and install the door. There you go. Now I can do the same thing on the other side of the trim and then cut that with a circular saw. There we go. Nice. Hopefully these cuts aren't too confusing to you. I think they'll make a lot more sense once the door is actually in. So let's take the other door out so we can put this one in. There it is. We'll drop the door in, make sure it fits. So, one thing you don't want to forget is taking this little plastic nut off of this piece right here. Done that before. We have a level ready. Okay. Cool. All right. Now I'll take my level. And it's actually plumb right where it is. I got plenty of room on the bottom. So take my finish nailer. Nail it. Nail the hinge side. Now what you want to do is make sure the reveal is good. The reveal is the space in between the door and the trim. And just the way that this door is made, you can see the door is sitting against this trim. And I think once I put screws in here, it'll actually open up a gap right here. So I'm gonna make this door or this trim tight to the door like this all the way down, and then I can suck in the hinges on this side. So I can nail this side. Make sure the reveal's even all the way. Take one little piece out here. So now you can see a little bit better. This was my cut down to the tile, and then this is my cut down to the other floor, and that is my cut for where the tile ended up. And there is a little gap there, but I can caulk that in if I have to. That's probably going to be covered up. I'm probably going to end up cutting this completely when I put another floor down here, but for now, that's going to look nice. So now we have to secure this permanently. And what I'm going to do is shim behind each of these hinges. And I'm going to take this screw that's the furthest in this way so it'll actually hit framing, and just suck that door in a little bit and make that nice and tight. Make the reveal right here perfect. let's check the reveal. Perfect. Probably suck it in a little bit at the bottom. That's what I'm gonna do, and I think we're good. So now I can measure my outside piece and cut it, put it in. And just so you know, I was hooking onto the top of this when I was taking my measurements for the bottom there. But with the outside, I'm gonna put my tape on the floor and then measure to one of these grooves up here and cut the bottom. And I can pop that piece in. Very nice. We have a new door. So I like the way it shuts. This has to be painted, obviously, and the rest of the trim could use a lot of help in the caulking and paint department. For now, let's just put this doorknob on and we'll have a complete door. Even though I am gonna be putting a floor down here, I'm just gonna clean this up to make this pretty because I have these leftover tiles from this floor. This is why it's a good idea to keep leftover pieces when you do something like that. So these, I'm gonna pull up and expose the super awesome floor underneath, and pull up this, and this piece. Let's see how quickly I can do this. Okay. And this one. All right. So what I'm gonna wanna do, this piece back. Remember, this is all temporary. This basically, I'm gonna have to fill this in too because this floor is higher than this and I don't want the pieces to be uneven. Hammer in any staples or anything that's sticking out. I'm gonna fill this in nice and quick and dirty. Not even gonna measure, because that's what I do, and that's how I roll. Take these pieces, and this can be a pretty rough cut too, because I'm going to put a threshold piece here. So I'll just mark this with one of these. That. Then I'm going to have to undercut this trim so I can slide this piece under. Here. And then right here. Okay. Peel the backing off and lay the tile down. Nice and simple. That's the good thing about this floor. It's not the best flooring in the world. It actually takes a while to sit down into place. So it's gonna pop up until you walk on it and it sits there for a while. And we'll do this piece. Off the backing and slide the tile in. All right. There we go. Good enough for the time being. Now I got this threshold that I'm going to put here, just like this, just to give it kind of a sweep up so there's not such a blunt edge to stub your toe on. So I'm going to measure right here, because that's the longest point, 30 1/8. Mark that. 30 1/8. Now we'll cut that. Go nice and easy on this. Now set this in there like that. I need to notch right here on both sides. And then I want it to be right there, right where that edge meets the tile. So then I want to cut it right there, cut this little section out. Do the same thing on the other side. Cut those notches. Now I go in just like that, and like that. Now I just gotta nail it into place. Nice and easy. That looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. So that's where we're going to wrap this one up. If you enjoyed this and you want to see more on this bathroom remodel, you can click here-ish and here-ish. Check those videos out. And if this is your first time, definitely consider subscribing if you enjoyed the content. Little red button down there. I'll see you at that video or at that video. Click it. Click it. I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.